basketball has really consumed my life for a year. So I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career because it ended so fast. I feel like taking some time to myself and really enjoying that and reflecting back.
There's no place for it, and we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place.
Caitlin Clark has just dropped a bombshell. She's stepping away from basketball until April. The announcement shook the entire league, and while her silence echoes across arenas, Alyssa Thomas is raising her voice, speaking out against the slurs thrown her way by Clark's fans. But here's the real shocker. 200 long days. That's how long we'll be waiting before Caitlin Clark touches a basketball in a competitive game again. What will happen in her absence?
Allow me to publicly thank the Indiana Fever for putting up such a great fight tonight and for battling back again and again and again all season long. Let me thank Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell and all the rest for refusing to say die, refusing to lose, fighting back again and again and again, and playing at a much higher level than they should be at this stage and age. Was I ever entered?
Her last game left fans in disbelief. Caitlin Clark was slammed to the floor hard. The crowd gasped. The cameras froze. And yet, no whistle, no foul, nothing. How could that be possible? The answer feels painfully obvious. It wasn't just any player on the ground, it was Caitlin Clark, and that changes everything. Or does it?
Things that this group accomplished that, a lot of people probably didn't think was possible, one, to start the season, and two, after the start we had to the season. So, yeah, it'll definitely be probably a little weird for me over the course of the first couple weeks, and then I'm sure I'll get bored and pick up a basketball again. So
Alyssa Thomas walked away from the game visibly frustrated. Yes, her team won, but her emotions told another story. She didn't hold back, calling out Fever fans for their treatment of her. But here's the twist. When Angel Reese tackled her weeks earlier, Alyssa said nothing. Silence. But when it's Caitlin Clark, suddenly it's different. Why? What's really going on here?
We don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And, we come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking it. There's no time for it.
Now, the biggest question of all is Caitlin Clark's decision to rest after a record-breaking rookie season, a turning point in her career. For over 200 days, the WNBA will move forward without its brightest star. Analysts are scrambling to predict what this means for the Indiana Fever and for the league itself. By choosing rest over overseas basketball or 3v3 play, Caitlin has drawn a line in the sand. Some call it a gamble. Others say it's brilliant. But one thing is certain. The entire future of women's basketball feels different now. Remember, this is a player who logged 81 games in just 324 days, racking up nearly 3,000 minutes. She wasn't just playing, she was carrying the weight of a league on her shoulders. And now, silence.
Now has 761 points, breaking the record once held by Simone Augustus. However, there is a caveat. Augustus set the mark back in 2006 when the WNBA regular season was just 34 games. Clark broke the record in 39.
Let's go back to that final game. It wasn't just another matchup. This was playoff basketball where every possession could change history. Against the powerhouse Connecticut Sun, Caitlin Clark was under the brightest spotlight of her young career. The odds were brutal, but Caitlin delivered, dropping 25 points, handing out 9 assists, and controlling the game like a seasoned veteran. Still, there was heartbreak. Time and time again, she created golden opportunities, threading passes, setting up her teammates perfectly, only to watch those shots clang off the rim. It wasn't just bad luck, it was a reminder. Caitlin can't do it all alone, and that truth leaves us asking what happens next season, when everything is on the line again.
I would grade myself. I'm a tough grader. I feel like I had a solid year, but for me, the fun part is, I feel like I'm just scratching the surface, and I'm one that's nitpicking every single thing I do. And I know I want to, help this franchise get even better, help my teammates get even better, be better for my teammates. And I know there's a lot of room for me to continue to improve. So that's what excites me the most. I feel like I can continue to get a lot better. And before we know it, I'm sure we'll all be back here. And
the weight of that playoff battle didn't rest on Caitlin Clark alone. It pressed on an Indiana Fever squad that had struggled through ups and downs all season. Facing the seasoned Connecticut Sun, every mistake could cost them everything. But Caitlin wasn't built to shrink. From the very first whistle, she attacked, driving hard to the rim, pulling up with fearless confidence, and giving her team a fighting chance when no one expected it. The question was, could one rising star carry a whole franchise against a powerhouse?
Had a lot of players, a lot of these wonderful ladies who bust their tail to make the WNBA what it was. Here's the reality. It wasn't what it is. The quality of basketball may have been up to snuff, and you had somebody as popular as Cheryl Swoops, who had her own signature shoe, had to deal with Nike and all of this other stuff. But the bottom line is, very few people gave it.
The Fever's playoff exit may have stung, but Caitlyn's rookie season, nothing short of historic. This was the year she cemented herself as one of the brightest stars the WNBA has ever seen. Night after night, defenses built entire schemes to stop her. Coaches shifted rotations, doubled her, trapped her, yet she still found ways to shine. Her scoring electrified arenas, her passing unlocked her teammates, and her presence turned Indiana into must-watch basketball. She wasn't just the heart of the Fever, she was the pulse of the league. But with all eyes locked on her every move, one question lingered. How long can a rookie endure that kind of pressure?
It was a lot of fun watching Caitlin Clark's rookie season, which is now over. The Indiana Fever knocked out of the postseason by the Connecticut Sun in a 2-game sweep. And so we got to see the carryover from Iowa transition to the pro game, her ability to help develop a team's cohesion and chemistry. And we saw that worked so well as the season went on. Clearly brought, like a magnet, phenomenal attention to the league, bringing new fans, a committed fan base, not just in her home arena, but bringing fans to away arenas and packing the houses and increasing different venues from smaller to larger because of their presence. It's been fun.
Her deep range was devastating, time and again. Caitlyn pulled up from far beyond the arc shots most players wouldn't dare attempt, yet she drained them with ruthless precision. That gravity forced defenders to chase her miles from the basket. Opening lanes she slashed through with speed and craft. But Caitlyn was never just a scorer. Her vision made her one of the league's most complete playmakers, threading impossible passes that few even saw coming. 9 assists in her final game told part of the story, but countless missed shots by teammates hid what could have been even greater. Beyond numbers, her true weapon was leadership. When moments grew heavy, teammates looked to her, and somehow, she delivered, whether through a dagger 3, a clutch defensive stop, or a calming presence under chaos. For a rookie, it was unheard of. For Caitlin Clark, it was expected. But expectations come with a cost.
It's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of it.
After that relentless grind, her choice was no surprise. Unlike so many WNBA players who jet overseas to keep the paycheck coming and their rhythm sharp, Caitlin Clark said no. Her body had endured enough. Her mind needed space. 81 games, nearly 3,000 minutes sit, was a marathon disguised as a rookie year. Overseas money may tempt, but what's money compared to longevity? Caitlin knew the truth: her body couldn't be pushed without consequence. And so, she stepped back, not as a sign of weakness, but as a declaration. Rest is her weapon now.
Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now immediately? Absolutely not. Not gonna happen.
Okay. I don't know.
It wasn't just overseas leagues she passed on. Caitlin also rejected the growing world of 3v3 basketball, a format tailor-made for stars with quick handles and endless creativity. The pace is fast, the spotlight sharp, and yet, Caitlin chose differently. She wasn't chasing highlights, she was chasing recovery. For someone so young, it was a bold, almost defiant choice. Many athletes fear that rest means fading into the background. Caitlin believes the opposite, that pulling back today ensures dominance tomorrow. She isn't just protecting her body, she's protecting her future. When she finally returns, it won't be as a tired rookie gasping for breath. It will be as a sharpened blade, ready to cut through the league all over again. The only question is, when the lights come back on, will anyone be ready for the storm she brings?
Fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad.
All season long, one frustration shadowed Caitlin Clark: the silent whistles. Driving to the basket, absorbing contact, getting bumped on the perimeter time and again, the refs said nothing. For one of the league's brightest stars, it was maddening. Caitlin expected the respect afforded to elite players, yet somehow, she was consistently left on the wrong side of no calls. How long could she endure this silent bias before it boiled over?
I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three and then I went and hit the backboard, and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball. So I don't know, it reminded me of the technical that I got in college where I said, damn it, where it's like a personal frustration. Had nothing to do with my team, had nothing to do with their reffing, had nothing to do with other team. It was just because I'm a competitor and I felt like I should have been making more shots. So, but I think he fired me up to continue to play a lot harder. I thought we got a lot better after he did that. So I want to thank him for that.
Her final game against the Connecticut Sun became the stage for another showdown, not just against opponents, but against the invisible hand of officiating. Multiple drives, multiple hard fouls, and still silence from the referees. Fans, coaches, and analysts alike were watching in disbelief. Compare that to NBA legends like LeBron James or WNBA stars like A'ja Wilson, who often get the benefit of the doubt. The difference is stark. Then came the off-court drama. A fan heckled her relentlessly, trying to break her focus. For most of the game, Caitlin stayed calm, unshaken, but eventually she snapped. Pointing the fan out to arena staff, she had them removed. A rare glimpse of frustration from a player known for poise under pressure. With Caitlin now out of the playoffs, the entire WNBA landscape shifted. Angel Reese, her longtime rival, suddenly found her path to a championship clearer. Caitlin's absence isn't just a team issue, it changes the dynamics of the league itself.
For watching women's basketball right now, it all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
Caitlin Clark was more than a player, she was a reason fans tuned in. Her highlight reels became must-watch television, a magnet for viewership. Now, with her sidelined, the WNBA faces a daunting challenge: how to maintain interest without one of its brightest stars. The league has made huge strides marketing, broadcasting, accessibility, but players like Caitlin are the glue that keeps momentum alive. Without her, both attendance and viewer engagement could take a hit. And suddenly, the league feels the weight of her absence, a reminder of just how pivotal she had become.
Understand, like, if they think it's personal, but when I get between the lines, if friends or anything, if my teammate right here went to play for another team, I'm going to be competitive, I'm going to talk trash to her just because I'm super competitive and that's what we do. But off the court, we're going to kick in and have fun. So I think that's a part of the game, and just trying to normalize, like, trash talking is okay, but not taking it personal off the court. And obviously that has become a thing, and people are just trying to make it seem like it's something. But I love Caitlin, I love her game, and I admire everything she's done.
Caitlin Clark's impact extends far beyond points, assists, or minutes on the floor. She's a cultural figure, a trailblazer, someone who drew new fans into the WNBA and reignited excitement that hadn't been seen in years. Her absence leaves a void felt by the fever, by the league, and by fans everywhere. Yet if there's one certainty about Caitlin Clark, it's this: she returns stronger. Her talent, drive, and relentless work ethic promise a comeback that will electrify arenas once more. This break isn't the end, it's a pause before the storm. And when she steps back onto the court, the WNBA will once again feel her unstoppable force. For fans, the countdown begins, and the excitement is just getting started.